Well, hello everyone. So, I'm going to talk about a subject, and I fully 100% that if you do not want to watch this video, I understand. But I want to talk about death and the different aspects of death and how I view it. So, and if you don't want to listen about that or anything, that I'm fine with you not watching this video. Just click off now, because I'm going to be talking about not anything really bad, but just talking about different ways to look at it. But in the light of the terrorist attack, and the news media is assumed with how many people died, who this group of party has died, and this person attacked them, and blah blah blah, and is vice versa, both sides, upside down and backwards. But for me personally, I think that we have two deaths. Okay, everybody dies twice, and I have come to terms with when I die. I don't know when it's going to be. I don't know how it's going to be. I've had a couple of fortune tellers tell me, how I'm going to. Ironically, 2 years apart in two different countries, they both said the same thing. But it just, after my life experiences of getting jumped multiple times by large groups of people, by having guns pointed in my face, by being, shot at, and, a couple of very close calls and automobile accidents, not including the one that just happened, but there was some in my younger days, very severe accidents, go-kart, stuff like that. And there's been a couple of times where I was not sitting upright in a vehicle after it came to a stop. With all that being said, I don't want to die. I don't want someone else to have to deal with all the shit that I have in my life. So I'm hoping to get that gone before I do. But that being said, I'm not going to escape it. Okay, it's going to happen. And when it does, it does. I have no control over when I die, or anybody I know when they die, for the exception of maybe trying to save their life if I'm there. I have no control over when anybody's going to die. So, I've never been the one to break down and cry and act hysterical, or go through other type of emotions. I accept it. I miss them, and that's it. So, and I've had family members that go into hysterics and then consider killing themselves and all this kind of stuff over someone else dying. And sometimes it was accidental, sometimes it was of old age, sometimes it was a lot of times it was drug use. And but for me personally, I look at death in a completely different light, because nobody has control. You don't have control over when you're born. You don't have control over where you're born. You don't have control over who you're born to. So why should death be any different? So as far as the first death, I don't give a shit about it. When it's my time, it's my time. I hope the God that I believe in is real, and He accepts me for who I am. Again, I don't know anything as far as that aspect. I don't know if there's an afterlife. I don't know if we go into a void. I don't know if we're reincarnated. I don't know any of this stuff. So why should I worry about it or fret about it? But the second death, we all have control over. And I'm pretty sure you guys are scratching your head. What the fuck are you talking about, second death? Well, the second death is when everybody who knew you no longer knows you. When all your friends, all your family, when all the memories of you are gone, and now you are not remembered at all. That's your second death. That's the one that hits me hard. And that's one of the reasons why I started making YouTube videos, in the hopes that maybe well beyond my time, that somebody would come across and listen to what I have to say and hopefully get a spark of enlightenment. I'm not saying that I will show them the way, but maybe I say something that triggers an idea that progresses them in a better light, in their life, so because there's my days of not being on this earth are a lot closer than anybody younger than me, of course. I've seen a lot of family members leave, and as long as I'm still here, they're still their memory is still alive, their spirit is still attached to a physical form on this planet. So, and that's the thing that we can control. Unfortunately, people choose a lot of different ways of controlling that. Like right now, if I say, hey, name 10 of the most famous people that you can remember from history, unfortunately, you're going to be naming bad guys. Not all, but presidents, religious leaders, and criminals. That's pretty much the only people that get remembered. Maybe a couple of sports figures, but even then, their limelight of memory is short-lived. I mean, unless you're one of the extreme exceptional sports people, nobody knows who, well, I'm sure somebody does, but I couldn't tell you who was the third baseman of the New York Yankees in 1971. Even if I'm knew them back then, I wouldn't be thinking about them. So that's what I'm talking about as far as the second death, is the fact that there's ways that we can control that, as far as creating music, creating art, creating buildings, like architects. Like, I have doors that I don't know if they'll outlive me or not, but hopefully they'll last long enough that people may remember me, the fact that I did them. And then these videos, for as long as this construct of YouTube and everything else is available, I'll be remembered on that, or maybe I'll be downloaded somewhere. I don't know what the future is going to hold, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to reduce the possibility of the second death. And that's pretty much what all this is about, is, not worrying about what happens to us, because you don't have control over it. It's sad. It's painful to remember. It's painful to remember the good times as well as the bad. It's it hurts not having certain people around, but it doesn't change the fact of what happens. It's a part of nature. I mean, if you have a wild coyote somewhere, in the woods out by your house, and he dies, you're not going to really care about that. But if, in fact, most people don't care about the people dying in other countries or other cities or other states, because you don't know them. But, so mainly this is just kind of, with all the talk about death and all the talk about the attacks and, the earthquake in Afghanistan and all these people dying, and unfortunately both sides of the news media is really trying to take advantage of it. And then, conspiracy theorists on, I'm hearing all these end of the world type situations, which, yes, there will be an end of the world. Don't know when, but I don't know. I just, maybe this is one of the videos that, just makes you think about your second death and inspires you to go out and do something, meet new people, engage in your own life. Because there's, my time on this earth, I would have to say that about a third of every single person I've met in my life, about a third of them are scared to leave and go outside and engage with people. Almost everybody that I know that's younger than me, they're like, oh, I only want to go to my little tiny spots where everybody in the world knows me. They're scared to go out and venture and meet new people and different things. And for me personally, I'm purposely interjecting myself into people's lives that maybe I can make some connections, maybe I can find some new friends, and unfortunately my friends are short-lived, but still I like to replenish the stock, so, but no, it's something to think about, something to, to ponder, because I do think about death. I do think about what happens when I'm gone, who's going to have to deal with the excess stuff in my life, and, and that's one of the reasons why I'm aggressively trying to get rid of it, So So, speaking of which, this Friday, having a huge garage sale, 3148 Leon Road at my warehouse. So, if you're bored and want to come by, it's going to be 9 to 2, plus or minus a few hours, but I'll definitely be set up by 9. I might get there early, and I'll probably be tearing down around 2. Might be there a little bit later, but, you know, it just depends on how the day goes. But I've been putting together a lot of stuff, getting ready for this garage sale, and they are about to go crazy. So that's my plug. I'm not asking you to subscribe, not asking you to do any of that stuff. If you're bored, and come find a deal, and you know, you get stuff for real cheap, I get money and make room. So it's a win-win. Now I'm gonna go do something. I'm gonna go get a quote on part of my Halloween costume. Well, I won't say Halloween costume, just something I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna see how much it is, and if it goes well, then I'll show you in the next video. Peace, love, money. I'm out.